people. The Southeast is awash with stories. Every day on Southeast News, we tell the peculiar story of the Southeast and her people.
Our Southeast should be the Silicon Valley of Nigeria.
Their successes, achievements, and daily challenges. Do you have a Southeast story to share? Community achievements and challenges, completed and uncompleted projects, bad roads, water scarcity, erosion, flooding, insecurity, or even disagreements? Bring it on to Southeast News. On Southeast News, no story is too big or too small. Southeast News. Let's tell our story. Showing on Signature TV every weekday at 4 p.m. WAT, 1600 hours GMT.
Welcome back. You're still watching Signature Morning, and we've connected with our correspondent in Port Harcourt, Williams Uchowaji, to tell us about the cessation of the state of emergency in Rivers State. Thank you for joining us this morning, Williams.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Now, I'd like to know, what has the atmosphere been like in Rivers State, since the news that Governor Fubara is returning to office?
Yes, there is excitement everywhere. There has been a long expectation. So, yes, residents are in a happy right now. But we are still expecting the arrival. So they are grouping at some strategic location, waiting for this arrival. A befitting and arising wayfall.
All right. As a journalist who has actually followed this crisis, how would you describe what Rivers State has gone through in the past 6 months?
Yeah, Rivers have gone through, let's say, hell, politically speaking, because for the past 6 months, everything has been granted, everything has been in standstill. No development. You know what it means when solar administrator and state of emergency, just few people at the hands of them because of that situation. Yeah, the economy suffers. Life might suffer, but even businesses, because the economy was not vibrant, it's not viable again. Money has been very restricted to few. You understand? But when the elected institution comes into power, the results will go right. People will be happy, the women, the market women, everything will go. Then, which is the major one includes, like I said earlier, the contractor have moved out the sector. So nothing is happening as we see. Nothing. All the contractors everywhere stand still. So there is no money in circulation. So there is no joy at all in Rivers State. We knew so far, we knew what passed through in the past 6 months. So that gave rise to this enormous expressed by people. What we have for projects can continue. The lifestyle can actually take another turn. Yes. It's been a painful experience. Yeah.
All right, Williams, looking at the emergency rule, which lasted for 6 months, can you describe how governance was like during that period and how it affected the people of Rivers State?
There was nothing like governance in the 6 months. The state of emergency was actually split. It was on the purpose to correct what they said for the to state. So when it talk of in terms of governance, we still got in Rivers State because it's a touch of military, like you said, no rule of or nothing, just points, some institutions in the state and so on. Nothing. Type of project, nothing. Everything was right. So not talk about anything to that. It just a matter of you saw that in just and that just it.
All right. As a correspondent who lives in River State and who has actually experienced what actually went wrong in River State per se, that prompted the president to start emergency rule. What would you say is the major cause of this issue? And do you think the emergency rule was truly necessary, or was it a political calculation?
Yeah, it was a political calculation. It was not really that necessary. I mean, was it political issue in some of these states? Things in Lagos, not really happens in execution of it. Because the emergency people was not there. So this River State case is just horrible and very biased. Because it's not for some people control what's control the production. So it's not really a problem that we should say. It's just a political induced problem. Yes, by just shooting the middle, and we know the key players. The immediate past did not allow him to have the leverage to govern. It was being dictated everything for because the commissioner was appointed, almost everything was in place. So when he tried to let's do this way, it becomes a problem. What just it? The assembly members was already minister of ethics supporters. So the incumbent governor has no. So that was how the whole thing started. It's just a politically induced problem. And it did not in any way call for set of emergency.
All right, now finally, before we let you go, what challenges would you say that Fubara will be walking back into, or what challenges would you say that he will most likely inherit from this emergency rule?
Yes, for him to come back to recover the lost period, the lost period. To recover the lost period is a challenge to him now. Where will he start? The project has been abandoned, started. So it will be a rush for him. And the fear now we are having is if he will be allowed to actually exercise and carry out, because he started well actually. He started well. So if he will be allowed, when I said if he will be allowed, because going by the deal, this peace stock deal or agreement, it was very tight, or it's very tight for him. And it happened to be the same issue, if not similar, that led to this whole crisis. They have returned back to that same status quo. So some group of school of thought, we are having that here that is coming to serve the matter. If you be allowed to continue, that is what we don't. But him coming back, at least the elective institution will come back, the democracy itself will come back. So that will return. But we don't know how, if him can actually function the way he started. So that's just the fear. That's just the fear. But all the same, I think we prefer him coming back. Then let's watch what happens.
All right. Thank you so much, Williams Uche Owaji, our correspondent from River State. Thank you so much for that insight. And that is where we draw the line on that conversation on the cessation of state of emergency in River State from the journalist perspective. Thank you so much for staying with us. We'll go on a short break, but when we return, Signature Morning continues.